Hey everybody, welcome back to Armchair Quarterbacks Mile High Edition. I'm Mike Worth.
I am Nick Duran. Do not forget to like and subscribe down at the bottom. Sharing is caring. We got a lot of fun stuff to talk about. Really want to mainly focus on two things today. We could touch on the Rockies, we'll touch on the Broncos, but not a ton of
Not during playoff time.
information. Not during playoff time, but we have two teams here in Denver in the playoffs right now, and we're excited to talk about both of them. Nuggets start tonight, second round, but we'll kick it off with the Avalanche tied 2-2 with the Vegas Golden Knights. Mike, so far, it's kind of been the tale of two cities with these teams, especially with the Avalanche. Looked unbeatable the first round of the playoffs, and even game one against the Knights, going up, win a game 7-1.
Yeah.
But
The first game, it's like a curve, like here is our winning. We're all the way up here, and then slowly, are all the way swinging to like the Golden Knights' favor. It's been like one of those bell curve type things. We looked unstoppable in game one. We held on in game two. Game three, we let it slip away, and then oh my God, game four.
yeah, it's been frustrating. I'm not going to lie to have as good of a team as we have, and to play as poorly as we've played over the last 140 minutes. It's really frustrating to watch. To be honest with you, it's like it just looks like they don't have any heart. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. They came out so together on game one, and then I just feel like they got relaxed, and they felt that they were the best team in the world and the best team on the ice, and took the foot off the gas. And Vegas took full advantage of the last couple of games from a momentum standpoint, and Vegas has all the momentum right now in the series. If the in game 5 tomorrow, if we don't win that game, the series is over. It is 1,000% over.
Yeah, we're not gonna win the back to back because that's how hockey is, right? It's a game. We got game 1 and 2 at home, game 5, and then game 7, right?
Correct.
Okay, so yeah, we wouldn't be down 3-2 go into Las
We'd
Vegas.
have to win in Vegas and then to force a game 7
Yeah,
in Denver. Tomorrow night's game is their season. In my opinion, they need to come out and play like they're supposed to play. The three things for me is that their A line, the best line in hockey all year long, the best line in hockey. Rantanen, McKinnon, Landeskog, Makar. They need to come out and play like the best line in hockey. They've been non-existent except for Rantanen in the second goal or his goal in I think game 2, and then again to go up 2-1 in game 3 that haven't let it slip away. That's outside of him. That your big stars have kind of fallen off the table a little bit. Vegas has done a phenomenal job of keeping them at bay. They're not getting as loose from a neutral zone standpoint. The speed, they're neutralizing it a lot more than what we thought they were going to do. Game 1, they didn't neutralize anything. I think it was just kind of, we got to do whatever we wanted to do. But Vegas is just as fast, if not faster, than the Avs, and they're playing like it's just, it's so frustrating, especially the last 2 games. We've been outshot, and I know you talked about it. We were talking about it a little bit earlier. Vegas, it's like 78 shots to 35 or to
right.
30,
And
right
that's just
around there.
unheard of. It's like we had 18 shots in the last game. We get 18 shots period. It seems like.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what's going on. We should have been shut out 5-0 last game. We got a pretty lucky goal early in the game, and then it was all downhill. Because even when we had that goal and went up 1-0, you didn't really feel like we were in control of the game. We were definitely on our heels.
Yep. It's like watching. I'm trying to how to put this in words. It's like watching like a slow death.
Death by 1,000 cuts.
It's just like, man, I would rather get shot in the face than watch this like fall apart right in front of your eyes.
It would be
To know that you're that good and to just not put it together and to just be flat out outplayed.
yeah, it would be an upset as far as Colorado sports go. The Avalanche are probably the best team in Colorado for their
Mm-hmm.
sport, so it would be disheartening to see them be so good, be so talented. Still very young, but they have playoff experience for a few years. They're not new to competing. So even though they're young, they got the experience needed. And it would just be unfortunate if they can't win game 5, because I agree with you. We go down 2-3, it'd be very hard to go into Las Vegas and win.
Yep. And, I'll give Vegas credit too. They, as even as a city, it's a hard place to win to begin with, let alone, playoff hockey or not playoff hockey. And it makes a difference. I'm sorry. It makes a difference when you have a sellout crowd, like a full at capacity crowd versus the Avalanche only having 10,000 fans.
Yeah, they upped it though, didn't they, for the second round, or just recently?
That's what they upped it to 10,000. It was at 7,500, and then they went to a little bit north of 10,000. But it's still not at the 16,000 that it should be.
Right, right, and then Nuggets will have that same thing too, because I think Phoenix had, like when we went into, but we'll get to that later. But it does, it makes a difference having a rowdy crowd behind you and playing and having real home court ice. Home, whatever you want to call it, home ice.
Home ice advantage.
Home ice advantage. When people are up on the glass yelling and the noise gets going, it's very psychological advantage. That momentum of the energy, it's there. It's real. I don't know why it's real, but it is. So I would like to see them play hard in this game, get on the attack a little bit more, and just go back to what they do well. Just run out, McKinnon get in control. He hasn't scored since game 1. He hasn't been much of a factor since game 1. So he needs
to they are definitely taking him out of the equation. And that's really frustrating. And here's the thing though, that's probably like the only sport where your all-star, it's hard for them to truly take over the game like in the NBA. It's it's more similar to baseball, where I know it's a lot slower from a baseball standpoint, but it's only Mike Trout only gets an at bat once every 9 at bats. He's once every 3 innings roughly, and so it's harder for your all-stars to really take over the game. NBA, LeBron James or Damian Lillard or what's his face, Steph Curry can score 80 points in a game and put the team on their back and not be stopped. Hockey's a little different. Nathan McKinnon, he just can't get loose.
No.
And the other players, as best they can, they're just not him. And so they go, if he goes, and he's not going right now. And so he kind of sets the tone and the pace. And I think, I don't want them to start pressing too much, because if they start pressing, it's going to look even worse. But they just got to get back to basics and, be the team that we know that they can be. And, but it's going to be fun. I'm going to be at the game tomorrow. I'm going to be sending out some Instagram shots and whatnot. Maybe do an Instagram live. But it's going to be a fun game, and the atmosphere should be good because it's a must win for the Avalanche.
Absolutely. So, do you think? Getting Reeves back was not the swinging point, but he did come back for games 3 and 4. But do you think he got 2 games? He cross-checked the back of Grubauer's head and then dropped the defenseman. It's pretty lax considering we got 8 games for our guy.
I think Kadri getting 8 games was a stretch, 6 at the most. But Kadri also has a history. So I think that played into it. Yeah. And even the crazy part, that one hit against Montreal and who are the Canadians playing? I don't even know. The Maple Leafs, who knows? But I don't pay attention to them. But I paid attention to that one hit that the guy laid out the other guy. It was like a rag doll.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. I know what you're talking
about. That guy only got 4 games.
Yeah, he was flying, man. He lit him up, and he was out cold. I know which one you're talking about, but I don't know.
Yeah. But that's the craziest. That's what I don't get.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought Reeves should have got at least 4 games, considering Kadri got 8. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah, Montreal versus Winnipeg.
Okay.
And the Montreal guy was the one guy that got knocked the F out.
Yeah, he was at a dead stop right at the net, and the guy barreling down from the blue line. He had a full head of steam. He got laid out.
Laid out. But here's and that's the hardest part, I guess, for me the pill for me to swallow with the Avs is that I don't care who. If obviously I want the Avs to win the series, but whether it be the Avalanche or the Knights, how the brackets fall. We play the Canadian teams in the next round, and so they're not good. I'm sorry. Like we are a flat out both the Vegas and Avalanche are it's leagues different between the talent on our team and what we can do.
The Stanley Cup representative of the Western Conference is this game.
100%. 100%. Whoever wins this series will be in the finals. I'm not saying they're going to win the finals because Tampa Bay is looking really good, but the winner of this series will be in the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yeah, they did what they could. We talked about it before with the way they did the season this year, but it really didn't give the Avalanche any favors as far as seeding and stuff like that, because there's plenty of teams that we should have had to play as a 1 seed other than the Golden Knights. They're the 2 seed. Why are we playing them in the second round? It doesn't make any sense.
I completely agree.
But now on to the Denver Nuggets.
First game tonight.
A recap of the Blazers and Nuggets series. That was pretty epic. Damian Lillard almost single-handedly beat us. But Nikola Jokic was still the better player.
Yep.
Consistently, Lillard had 2 games where he just went off and couldn't miss. And Jokic literally posted 35 points every single game. So I'll take it. He looked unstoppable all series long. Like if he needed to score, he scored. If he needed to facilitate, he facilitated. He took over when he needed to take over. And they had no answer for him. So win. But what do we got to do to get past the Sun? They're the 2nd seed. I'm out in Phoenix. People are talking a lot of stuff.
Yeah, what are they saying in Phoenix? They haven't been to the playoffs. Do people know that you're a Nuggets fan?
Oh yeah, of course. I wear my Colorado sports with pride. And everybody it's like Colorado right now. Nobody's from Phoenix. Just like nobody's from Colorado anymore that lives out there. So Phoenix sports is not ingrained into society like Colorado sports are. Like everybody's a Broncos fan in Denver. Nobody cares about the Cardinals. Nobody cares about the Suns. The Suns are probably the favorite team out here, and they're excited. They haven't been to the playoffs since Nash. They had a lot of good teams back then. They had the run and gun, and Chris Paul, Devin Booker. They got good players, but I don't think they match up. Even with us missing Jamal Murray, I don't think they match up with us. I don't think Ayton can play with Jokic for 7 games. I mean, he's going to be in foul trouble from the beginning because he can't do it.
I completely agree. When I was rooting for the Suns the entire series for 2 reasons. One, I hate the Lakers, so I root against them every single time that they're on TV.
Yep.
And no matter who they're playing, I don't care if it's the Pelicans in the regular season. I'm a Pelicans fan. And so, but then again, I agree. I think we match up really well against the Suns, and I think we're going to beat them. I really do. I think we're going to beat them in 6, and we're going to make a statement tonight and come out and win game 1.
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree with you on the Lakers because that is the only team in the playoffs that we do not match up well with. Marc Gasol gives Jokic fits because he's a clever guy like Jokic, not very athletic. Anthony Davis gives him fits. They have a lot of height to throw at him, and he's always struggled with their rotation. So a healthy Lakers team was always the team that I was most fearful for. I don't think they would have been healthy anyways if they beat the Suns. Anthony Davis and LeBron James are pretty banged up, so I don't know if I would have been too worried. But the Suns, I think Devin Booker, Aaron Gordon has got to make it his job to shut down Devin Booker. And then Campazzo and Monty Morris and a rotation of guys that just give Chris Paul fits and try to get in his hip pocket and get him, because he is the facilitator of that team. If he makes the plays happen, the Suns go. So they need to really frustrate him and Devin Booker. And then after that, they don't really have anybody.
Do you think I mean, you have Torrey Craig from a defensive standpoint. I think Torrey Craig is going to get tasked with stopping Michael Porter Jr. Him or Jay Crowder, and so Michael Porter Jr.
Miles Bridges is pretty long. He might frustrate Porter a little bit. He's got the longest arms I've ever seen on a basketball player. So he might. I don't know how familiar you are with the Suns. I get to watch them a lot out here too, but his length, I think he's like 6'9" with like a 7'5" wingspan.
That's some pretty long arms.
Yeah. But he's a good defender because of that length. Crowder, Craig, those guys will all take turns on Porter. Porter had an absolutely phenomenal first quarter in Game 6, but then disappeared.
Yep.
He needs to be able to put together 4 quarters for us. But he's growing, and he's showing a little bit more and stepping up a little bit more. He made the comment last year that he was frustrated because they weren't calling enough plays for him in media.
I remember that.
This year, he told Malone, JaMychal Green is playing really good. They're playing good. Let them keep going late in the fourth quarter. So, he's put team in front of himself, knowing that he was struggling late in the game, and JaMychal Green was making some big plays. So the growth is there, but now he needs to be the guy who takes over in the fourth quarter, not just sees what's best for the team.
Right. I agree. I think, I think we're going to win the series, but I think in order to do that, I think Michael Porter Jr. needs to average north of 20 points a game for the series. And I think that Monty Morris needs to be north of 14 points a game.
Yeah. He was
every
big for us
game.
last series.
He was huge for last series.
He would what game? I forget what game it was. He was keeping us in it. He was so on fire.
It was a double overtime game.
Double overtime. The game Lillard was on fire. He missed a layup at the end that would have sealed it, and he missed the free throw at the end that would have sealed it. But you can't get completely hugely upset with him because he was one of the reasons we were actually winning the game anyway. So because we won, we can look back and say, I forgive you. I forgive you for playing with our hearts. But if we lost, I mean, that missed layup and the free throw all within the last minute or so of the game. But he needs to play big. Will Barton is supposed to be coming back. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It is depth, and we are lacking depth. So
it'll help from a depth on the guard standpoint. I think
he's better than playing the rookie point guards that we've had to play. He's an upgrade to them. So as much as I think we need to upgrade Will Barton as far as long-term status, he's an upgrade to what he will be replacing right now, because we can't play rookies in the second round of the playoffs who didn't even have minutes in the regular season. So
could you truly imagine if we had a full healthy team, like if Jamal Murray was on the court tonight, like fully ready to go?
If our starting five was Gordon, Dozier, or Gordon, Barton, Jokic, Murray, and Porter, that five, when the first week and a half or 2 weeks, when they were all healthy playing together, was unstoppable. And then to come off the bench with Dozier, Campazzo, Morris, and Millsap, and JaMychal Green, or whoever you needed to play at that time, we would have been the best team hands down, best team in the Western Conference. With the only team that would be scary would be Brooklyn.
Utah. No, I would say Utah.
Utah, we got Utah number.
I don't know, man.
Jokic makes Gobert look like JV.
The one guy that always kills us from Utah, the white guy.
Oh yeah, man, he was on fire the last time we played him.
We dropped like 42 points, 44 points against us.
It was like 15 of 17 from 3 or some crap like that.
Yeah. But if Jamal Murray was on the court, I'd say Nuggets in 5, and if not a sweep, because they would just be that much better.
Yeah.
They would truly be that much better.
Would you trade Damian Lillard for Jamal Murray package?
Yes.
Yeah.
100% it would.
Package.
What?
I don't think I would do Michael Porter package, because then you'd have Lillard and Murray.
No, I wouldn't. Yeah, I would not do Jamal Murray or I would not do Michael Porter Jr. for Damian Lillard, but I would do Damian Lillard for Jamal Murray.
Yeah.
100% I would.
I
Because
mean,
here's the thing, Dame time, he's clutch, man, and he's clutch all the time.
yeah.
No matter what, he's the type that will take the game over in the fourth quarter. And I want him to have the ball. If we're down by 3, I don't want Jokic having the ball. I want Dame time having the ball.
Not if he's not. The thing is what's crazy about Damian Lillard is he'll have games where he doesn't ever miss, but his 3-point percentage is like 39%. You would think it'd be higher or
Well,
something.
he shoots a lot.
But Steph Curry's like 45%. Like
Steph Curry's the greatest shooter in the history of basketball.
But I mean, when Damian Lillard gets going, he makes Steph Curry look like JV.
I understand that, but Steph Curry's the best shooter in the history of the game.
History of the NBA. Would you trade?
It's not the same.
Would you trade Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray for Steph Curry?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. that's mortgages the entire future, but you definitely turn into maybe the best team in the league.
He is a guaranteed Hall of Famer who's truly the best shooter in the history of ever playing basketball.
Can you imagine the 2-man game between Steph Curry and Jokic? It would be unstoppable. Unstoppable.
Yes.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, you'd get two years. Curry's like 32 or something like that. You get 2 years, but it would be a fun 2 years.
Oh yeah. I mean, and here's the thing: you're gonna get other players in the league who are name brand players who are gonna want to come play in Denver. Let's be honest; they're gonna take a cut, just like Harden and Kyrie Irving and KD. I mean, they're not all max contracts.
As exciting as it like sounds and stuff, I don't think I could do it because
No?
I would want that building block of the 26-year-old Jokic, the 23-year-old Murray, and the 22-year-old Porter. I think for the next 5 years versus, or even 6 years versus maybe 1 or 2 years of Curry and who else ever comes.
The nice part about it is like because they're so young and they're so good at this young of an age, from a team standpoint. LeBron James, he's 36 years old.
All the great players in the league right now are at the end of their careers.
Yes.
You got Durant, he's in his 30s. Curry's in his 30s. Harden's in his 30s. LeBron's in his 30s. So you have a new round of young guys like Giannis and Joel Embiid and younger guys. But I think our 3 is the best young group of players. So we're set up for the next 5-6 years as elite, because I don't think LeBron James is going to come back the best player in the NBA ever again.
No, I agree. Do you think, being that we're playing the Suns and Devin Booker is dating Kendall Jenner, do you think Kendall Jenner is going to be at the game tonight? Sitting as courtside as you can get.
Hopefully he'll be distracted. I mean, as much as whatever it takes to throw him off his game. I know James Harden in the Kardashian girl, he threw off his game, so he had to go to Brooklyn. Whatever works.
Chloe is a NBA basketball killer, is what she is.
Yeah.
She dated Harden, and then Lamar Odom had OD'd.
Lamar Odom fell off the wagon. Harden, I mean, he's still a good player though, but
Kendall Jenner went through Ben Simmons and Kyle Kuzma, and now on to Devin Booker.
Like basketball players,
they love the basketball players.
From the Nuggets,
or come to the Nuggets, and then it's just fun to watch when they're in the stadium. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, I need to try to see if I can get tickets to a game out here, but I was looking, man, they're expensive.
What? That's the craziest thing. That's what happens when people don't go to the playoffs all that often. The ticket prices just go through the freaking roof.
Yeah, I don't want to sit nosebleed in like lower bowl. It was like $400 a ticket
for a second round playoff game. I remember back in the day, that was like inflation or whatnot, but when like a Super Bowl ticket, like to the 1998 Super Bowl for the Broncos, first level was $400, and that's a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
and now all of a sudden it's $400 for round 2 in Phoenix.
Yeah, it's I told you they're excited, but
they're going to be excited for a couple losses, that's for sure.
Yeah. And Jokic is finally getting some respect from the analysts. I guess it only took 3 years and 3 dominant playoff appearances, but Kendrick Perkins is turning around and saying he's the MVP. Charles Barkley, all these guys now are coming around. So
it's hard. Well, here's the thing: like it's hard to give the MVP to Steph when he didn't even make the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Hard to give the MVP to Bron when he bounced in the first when they got bounced in the first round, and Embiid is hurt.
Yeah, and Jokic is continuing to dominate no matter who gets hurt. So.
Yes. You know, he's averaging his
Michael Malone made a comment. He said he named himself and like 3 other assistant coaches, and he said you could put him, and me on the court with this guy, and we would still be a competitive basketball team. He just makes everybody around him that much better.
Yep, and I'm not gonna lie, he probably wouldn't make me a whole lot better, but it would be fun to be on the court.
Shots, you just wouldn't make them.
Yeah, that's true. Like, I'll get right back to it.
Let's touch on the Rockies. I posted. I haven't been good at posting on Instagram lately, but I found this funny picture of some dragons that summed up where we are in Colorado sports. Had like three-headed dragon with like an angry guy here and an angry guy in the middle, and then some doofus dragon right there, and that's our Rockies.
Yeah, it's
But they had a good week for them. You know, they did good this week. They won like 3 out of 4 or something like that. Or they went 3 and 4 or something like that.
Well, they swept Texas.
Yeah.
So first sweep of the year. Exciting stuff. And then they lost 2 or 3 to the A's.
Yeah.
But we're competitive-ish in all the games, 9 to 5, 6 to 3. It's not like they're getting blown out. But still, just a rough go around for the Rockies.
Yeah, Blackman's hitting like 390 over his last 7 games.
Yep.
Ramil Tapia's hitting real good his last 7 games. So bats are coming around, but this win streak has been at home. The 4-2 record is all at home. And again, we are a pretty good team at home. And we are historically god awful on the road. So
it's pretty bad on the road.
Yeah, 4-22. So at that rate, we're going to be 10 wins on the road, something like that. 10 and
that might be an MLB record.
Yeah. It could be. If we don't win 10 games on the road, that'll for sure be a record.
Could you imagine if we didn't win 10 games on the road?
Ooh, I want to look up what the record is for next week, because I'm very curious now what the least amount of home games on a 162 game season is.
Well, the good news is that we are not dead last in the power rankings, which is always nice.
Dead last in our division.
No, Arizona, dead last in the division.
We're like 4 games up of Arizona.
Who would have thought that how the cities are very similar in the situations that they're in? Basketball teams are playing really well, and the baseball teams are dog shit.
Yep. Yeah, not good. Not good baseball being played. But good baseball news is Vinny Castilla and Larry Walker are going to be playing again in Colorado.
In a softball game?
Yeah, they're playing it. They announced they're playing in the softball game. So we'll get some all-stars playing again here in Colorado.
I'm excited because I was able to secure some tickets to that game. So
nice.
I'll be at the Home Run Derby and the All-Star game. So it'll be a fun weekend and all-star festivities. The nice part is that, full capacity, cities opened up, they're going to have all the All-Star Fest and all that good stuff going on. And so it's going to be a pretty fun experience, throughout that weekend.
Yep. Should be fun. It'll be the lone bright spot of Colorado baseball. Oh, I read an article the other day that says Trevor Story has zero intention of signing a contract extension this offseason with the Rockies. I think we all knew that, but
why would you want to?
You wouldn't. They could literally offer me $500 million or whatever, $300 million more than market value, and I still don't think I would. I think it would be better to play for $300 million and win than $600 million and be stuck here.
I agree. So where's he gonna go? Where odds favorite are?
I hear the Yankees.
New York Yankees.
Yeah, I heard the Yankees is.
I hope he goes to the Yankees. I really do.
Yeah.
I really do. Because then I can buy a Trevor Story shirt like I have a DJ LeMahieu Yankee shirt.
We'll hang it up in the background.
Exactly. We put it back here.
You do an Arenado, LeMahieu, and Story, the all-stars of Colorado baseball.
It would be interesting if he went to either one of those teams to play with, his old teammates. It'd be really interesting to see him in a Cardinals uniform.
Does St. Louis have a shortstop?
Oh yeah, every team has a shortstop.
Well, every team has a shortstop. Does St. Louis have a shortstop or do they want to upgrade the shortstop?
I have no idea Let's go look at their roster real quick.
Paul DeJong. I don't even know who that is. He's on the 10-day disabled list, and he's not very good. Yeah, Story would be a major upgrade over him. So yeah,
Edmundo Sosa and Jose Redondo right now. Whoever these guys are.
Yeah, no, I could see the Cardinals making a play at him, and with the way that the Rockies like to make deals, they're probably salivating.
Yeah, they're like, wait a minute, you can give us Trevor Story and $100 million, and all we have to give you is two buckets of sunflower seeds and a bag of Big League Chew.
Absolutely, let's do it.
Best deal ever.
So yeah, we'll trade our two best players to them, and we'll keep all 4 of their top 100 prospects.
Do you know what? It reminds me of that deal of Moneyball when Brad Pitt's making the trade, and he's just like, I need you to fill my pop machine.
Yeah. Do you want Giambi? Yeah. What do we need to give? Nothing. Just take him.
Take him and fill my soda machine for 3 years.
Yeah. No. That's how I feel like our GM is handling stuff. So we'll see how. Super funny story though. So Cody Kincaid, he was playing golf. He was telling me the story the other day. He was playing golf and he was at the Greeley Country Club, and he sees Dick Monfort at the table sitting behind him, like eating breakfast. So then Cody's like, all I did was just get really loud about how bad the Rockies are and how bad the management is and how they should sell the team to an owner that wants to win. And everyone around me was just like, shh. The owner's sitting right there. He's like, I'm saying it loud on purpose. I want him to hear. He's like, I'm a fan. Like, I can say whatever I want. He's like, the Rockies have been in my life just as long as they've been in his. Yeah. So what's the difference? 1993, I've been a fan. So, I mean, it's just as much a part of my life as it is his.
Exactly. It's just like, man, it's like, look, we want a winning team. Every city deserves one. I'm sorry, like as fans, you want the organization to do everything in their power possible to bring home wins, and ours don't care, and that's the hardest part.
We got to get a schedule so we can get my friend out here. He was drafted by the Oakland A's, and he's going to talk about how some teams are better at developing, and some organizations are better to get drafted in, and some organizations are worse to get drafted in. And he actually knows a couple people who got drafted into the Rockies organization, so he'll talk to us about that. But we got to get our schedules in sync so we can.
Yeah, that'll be exciting. Yeah, it's like so here's the thing: if you were to ask the Monforts if they care about winning, they're going to tell you yes.
Oh yeah,
right.
They're going to say that's our number one goal.
Right. And like my number one goal is to have a 6-pack, but I just ate a whole bag of chips. I can tell you that it's important to me, and I can tell you that it's on my bucket list, but I eat chips. And so that's never going to happen as long as I keep putting Lay's in my mouth. That's basically the same thing that they're doing. Like, yeah, we want to win, but
it's that Instagram social media life is like, this is what we want, but this is really what it is.
Exactly. That's my life.
That's funny. No, so let's get on the Broncos real quick. So before the tip off of the Nuggets, word on the street is Bridgewater's out playing Drew Lock, but also word on the street is today Aaron Rodgers said he has no intentions to go into Green Bay minicamp, even if they fine him. So I'm still crossing my fingers.
Me too. I'm crossing my fingers. I mean, the fines in Aaron Rodgers, it's a drop in the bucket. It's $96,000 and some change total fine. That's not even like, a day. It's total fine for missing minicamp. It's like $100,000. That's like you and me spending $100.
It'll get expensive in August.
Yes, it will.
Because it will be a daily fine. but still, I mean, I think it's like $10 million or something like that for the year. Does he still get paid?
Yes, and that's
So
the
it's not
thing.
even he's not even losing money.
No,
So he's getting paid 20 to 30 million dollars to not play, but fined $10 million. So
if you're the coach, I mean, you played football. If you're the coach, you put your general manager or coaching hat on. I'm Aaron Rodgers, and I just tell you, hey, I'm going to show up. First game, I'll be there. That's the first time you're going to see me, and
I'll be back the
you,
next game.
you can start me or not start me. It's irrelevant to me. And then I'm going to not come to practice the entire weekend. And I'm going to show up on Sunday. And if you do play me, I'm going to throw left-handed.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't even have to do that. He could just pretend he rolled his ankle.
No, because then you get it's not guaranteed.
Oh, what do you mean? You don't get your money if you get hurt?
I just want you to bench me, because if you bench me, I still get my money.
I mean, there's a lot of leverage, not for every player, but for a guy like him, there's a lot of leverage. At the end of the day, Green Bay has an opportunity to at least get something for Aaron Rodgers instead of money.
Right, and that's the craziest part, man. And I can't begin to think what's going on in Aaron Rodgers' mind, or what he's truly thinking, or what he's truly going to do. All I know is what I would do,
because I don't ever remember there being like any animosity within like Aaron Rodgers and the organization, and then all of a sudden they drafted a quarterback in the first round, and he doesn't ever want to play for him again.
Yeah, I mean, he's a more quiet guy than most people. You just don't see him do a lot of other things. Even Peyton Manning, as polished as he is, like, he's a lot more outgoing and a lot more outspoken. He's funny. He does the commercials. I mean, like, he does a discount double check. But at the end of the day, like, you don't really hear from Aaron Rodgers all that often.
Right.
And so I don't know what he's thinking. All I know is what I would do is, if you go into the meeting with the GM, say, look, like, here's the deal. You can get something for me, or you can go 0-16.
Yeah.
I mean, what's more important? Picks and some wins, and let me, go right off into the sunset for a couple more years with another team, and no one's the wiser, everyone's happy at the end of the day. Or you keep me here. I'm the most disgruntled player on the planet, and I will personally lose every game that I play.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he will do that, because I think he likes his place in the history books, but he could do that. And
right.
And like, why? I mean, at this point, I understand why you would want to keep a player of Aaron Rodgers' caliber, but why keep him? Because he's not going to be Aaron Rodgers of that caliber for you.
No, I'm not. He's not going to give the effort. Just like any other industry, you lose any type of motivation or drive, or there's no real clear cut future. They've already hired the person that to come and replace you. You
drafted him in the first round, playing. Who cares? Pick up another 2 first-round picks for Aaron Rodgers, or for your future, and see where you're on. And trade Davante Adams. Blow it up. You guys are done. If you want to throw in Aaron Rodgers or Davante Adams for free, we'll give you KJ Hamler. See, Juwan James is suing the Broncos, or filing a grievance, whatever that's called. But he's going after him for $15 million.
Yeah.
He should just be thankful that he got paid $20 million to never play a snap for the Broncos, and played like 3 games in 3 years.
Yeah, that's what I mean, sign me up for that.
Yeah. But that'll be interesting to see how that plays out, because I get where he's coming from. If he is hurt, if you are working out for your team in the off season and you get hurt, there's a lot of risk of getting hurt working out at a gym and training hard. And then if a team is going to cut you because they can save money and stuff like that, there is a fine line. But in his situation, like, come on. You've already spent 3 years of not playing and cashing a paycheck. A little different, but like, for the average guy who's going around, and now you're worried about what happens if I blow my knee out as I'm running cone drills or something like that. Is my team going to cut me? And I really haven't made my money yet.
Well, if the rule of thumb is, hey, you can do all of those things, just do it at the facility.
Yeah. Then it makes it hard though, because I mean,
Does it? Does it make it hard?
well, yeah, if you got kids in school, so say you live in Colorado, you grew up in Colorado, you get drafted by Green Bay. You're not going to want to live in Green Bay when you don't have to live in Green Bay.
No one wants to live in
So, I mean,
right.
I get working out at home. I get it. You're going to want to keep your family as normal as possible instead of moving them back and forward, back and forward. So yeah, I get it.
I mean, I don't know. I really, I try to look at it from every angle, and people, if you remove sports from it, people get relocated all the time and they move their families for jobs.
Yeah.
If this is my job and I know, and this is part of it, that if you work out in the facility, you're protected 100%.
That's true.
So yeah, I might live in Green Bay. I might live in Detroit. I might live in Nashville and be on the team and live in the city of the team that I'm in solely because even in the off season, yeah, like would I rather be in Colorado? Could I come vacation in Colorado and just and hang out? Sure. But if I'm going to be living in a city, like I would probably move to the city and work out in the facilities knowing that, I'm getting the workouts in and I'm 100% protected. It wouldn't be worth it for me, or shouldn't be worth it for any athlete unless you're to the top tier people who don't normally A, get hurt, and B, they're not going to cut because you're that good.
Right.
And
right.
If you're Peyton Manning,
ACL working out in Indiana and he's playing in Colorado, they're not going to cut Peyton Manning and not pay him.
No.
So yes. But to your point, yes, it is a job. People forget that it is a job. And so we see these people as entertainment and more than what it is. But at the bottom line, it's your job. So you either fill your job requirements and you get paid handsomely, or you find a different job.
Right. And that's the thing. It's not like they have to live this lifestyle and live in a crappy place for 50 years. Like you and me are going to be working from the day we're like, say 21, 22, when we graduated college until we're 65. It's right. Not like that. It's like, hey, suck it up and make your millions of dollars for the 8 to 10 years at the high end, 5 years on the average right. of playing in the NFL. Suck it up for 5 years, 6 years, and then go live wherever you want to live.
Yeah. I see that. Because even if you were to make what society would claim as a very, very, very high-end job, at a six-figure job, $100,000, and they relocated you to wherever you didn't want to live. You had to go live in Memphis, Tennessee, and that's where you had to be. You would do it. But I don't think I would do it, but but I would have that choice. And so these players, they have that choice. Do you want to go live in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and live through the winters up there and get paid $4 million a year? Or do you want to go take your college education in communications and find your $42,000 a year job? Because that's your choice too. You could do
I would. You pay me $4 million and I'll live in a damn igloo.
But taxes and agency fees, man, you're only taking home like $2 million.
Yeah, still better than 42,000 living in Memphis, Tennessee. And the thing is, who's to say? I don't know. I'm not in the league. I have no idea. But who's to say that, from a release form standpoint? So say you play for the Packers, you live in Green Bay, but they don't have call it like a cousin facility or a sister facility that's in like Milwaukee or Madison, or a cooler spot to be at that is NFL like sanctioned or whatever, team sanctioned, where you could work out there and you're still protected. Who knows that there might be a clause like that in there. But for the most of these guys, like, Jerry Jeudy working out in these like random parks in Miami, sorry, like that's not covered.
I saw him. Yeah. He's on running sprints up and down his street in Colorado on his Instagram, like his little cul-de-sac. Yeah, that seems like you're going to get hurt. You step on a rock or something. But it makes for good social media.
Oh, very true. He's very active on the Instagram.
We need to hire him as our Instagram poster.
I know, right?
All right, man. I think that covers good stuff on everything. Tip-offs in 30 minutes.
Yep. Let's look for over under
Oh, but the
one or
Nuggets
two
are at full
Kardashians.
capacity this round. I think NHL Avalanche can't do it yet. They have to wait till next round. The Nuggets couldn't do it in the first round, but because it came after the announcement. So I think that I could be wrong, but we might see full capacity game 3.
That's Friday.
Yeah, so hopefully. But full capacity, I'm pretty sure in Arizona. So we'll see max stands.
Well, TBD. TBD.
All right.
All right, man.
Later.
See you.